Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah, he said that it is haram by the consensus, the ijma' of the scholars, to greet the non-Muslims on their religious holidays. It is haram by the consensus of the scholars. And I want you, when we use the word ijma', consensus, and the scholars of Islam who have gone back to all of the resources and they study in the four madhabs and they go into detail and they find that it is the ijma', it's the consensus. When the word ijma' and consensus is mentioned, and take this as a principle, when it's confirmed that there's an ijma', there's a consensus, it is not permissible for me or for you or for any Muslim to come down and say, well, my opinion, or I see it this way. Even if you're a scholar, even if you're a student of knowledge, you can't come and say, now you have the scholars who have come to a consensus agreement. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, لا تجتمع أمتي على الضلالة, that my ummah, my nation, does not come together on that which is falsehood. So the fact that the early scholars have agreed unanimously with consensus on this issue, then it's not permissible for us to come and to say, well, my opinion is this. Well, in the days we live in, well, the times have changed. No. Islam doesn't change. Islam was sent. It's clear the rulings. So here are the rulings of this. He said by the consensus that it's haram. And listen to what Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala said when he said congratulating the non-Muslims on the rituals that belong only to them. Only to them. It's their celebrations. He said it's haram by the consensus. Haram by the consensus, by the ijma'. As is congratulating them on their festivals and their fast by saying, and pay attention to the words, a happy festival to you, or may you enjoy your festival, and so on. Like people say that, we just say, may you enjoy, have a good Christmas. I'm not actually telling them to celebrate, but it's the same thing here, obviously. These type of wordings that are clearly haram. He said, and I want you to pay attention to this, because if I were to ask you now, if somebody was to do something else, if your neighbor was to come home from the bar and he was drunk, and he was to fornicate and do all these mischief and be arrested, and then you see him the next day and you say, congratulations, man, it was great, you did a great job last night. I was really impressed. Congratulations, have fun and do it again. Better luck next time. And you wouldn't congratulate him, or you wouldn't help celebrate something like that, because it's something you say as a Muslim, astaghfirullah. No, it's haram what he's doing. Listen here what Ibn al-Qayyim is about to say, rahimahullah. He said, if the one who says this has been saved from kufr, once again, if he hasn't fallen into kufr by celebrating this celebration with him, he said it is still forbidden. And it's like congratulating someone for prostrating to the cross, or even worse than that. He said it is as great a sin as congratulating someone for drinking wine, or murdering someone, or having illicit sexual relations, and so on. So just so the Muslim wouldn't come, if somebody were to murder someone were to be drinking and drunk, someone to have illicit sexual activities, you say, yeah, congratulations, good job, enjoy, have fun. We wouldn't do that. Why? Because it's something that goes against what we believe. But here, it's even greater, because what's being celebrated during these holidays, even if it's become customary now, it goes back to a religious belief. It goes back to a religious origin. That's why it's even more haram. And then he said, rahimahullah ta'ala, and I want you to pay attention to this as well, because who are those? What is the reality of those who celebrate and those who want to change the religion in the days we live in and say, ya akhi, ma fish haga, it's no big deal, let it slide, don't be extreme. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, many of those who have no respect for their religion, and put a line under that, highlight this, have no respect for their religion, fall into this error. The ones who are doing this are the ones who either don't understand their religion or they don't have any respect for their religion. He said they do not realize the offensiveness of their action. Whoever congratulates a person for his disobedience or his bid'ah, his innovation, or his kufr, his disbelief, exposes himself to the wrath and the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala safeguard us. Our Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said Similarly, it is forbidden for the Muslim to imitate the non-Muslims by holding parties on these occasions. And many people ask, well, what if we want to give a party to our colleagues, we want to attend, we want to give them some gifts, give them some things, what can we do? He said it is forbidden, it's haram to make parties on these occasions, or to exchange gifts, or to distribute sweets or other foods, or to take time off work and so on. He said, because the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever imitates a people, he is one of them. Whoever imitates a people, that he is one of them. And this is an important principle that we remind ourselves that if we celebrate these celebrations and we take part in them, then we are just like these people. Man tashabbah biqawmin fahuwa minhum. Whoever imitates a people, that he is one of them. And then he said, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah said in his book, Iqtida Sirat al-Mustaqim, imitating them on some of their festivals implies that one is happy with the falsehood that they are following. And this is a very, very important principle that we realize. We said we want to lay down the foundation to understand these issues properly. That when we take part in these festivals, it implies that we are happy with the falsehood that they are following. And that could make the non-Muslims take this opportunity to mislead those who are weak in their faith. Meaning, they could take this even as a dawah opportunity to corrupt the creed and the belief of the Muslims themselves. And then Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen, he said, that's the end of the quote of Ibn Taymiyyah, Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen, rahimahullah, then he said, those who do any of these things are sinning, whether they do it. And I want you to pay attention to what the Shaykh is about to mention, because some people say, yeah, I feel shy, I just want to take part, I don't really mean it, my intention is this and that. He said, it's all sinning, whether they do it to go along with them, just to go with the flow, to be part of the, being in the in crowd. Everybody else in the office is doing it, I do it with them as well. He said, or to be friendly towards them. I just want to be nice. I just want to show them that Muslims, that we're nice people. We're not like they say about in the media. Yeah, they work with you 365 days a year. They know that you're not like the people in the media. They know you never come in to try to harm them or anything in the office, and you've always been a nice colleague. It's not going to make any difference for one celebration or for a couple of days that you don't celebrate, that they're going to think you're an evil person now, because they know who you are, alhamdulillah. And that's why, and this is very important to understand, that when we have good, strong relationships with our non-Muslim colleagues, with our non-Muslim neighbors, for us as Muslims living in the West, that we have good relations with our local government, with our local police force. They know who we are. We have good relations with them. When they come, we say, we're not going to celebrate these things. They're not going to have anything in their hearts against us anyways, because they know we're part of the community. They know that we're good people. They know that we're not somebody who's against them. And this is very important to understand. So even though we say, so we don't have to do things to fit in with them, as the Sheikh is saying here. So this all is part of the sense. And you're not going to change anything, because they know who you are. They know you're a good person. They know you're part of the community. They know somebody who's for the safety for all and for the good of and the betterment of the country and of the community. Alhamdulillah. He said, or because they feel too shy to refuse to join in, or for any other reason. He said, because it is a kind of compromising of the religion to the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, compromising the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to please others. And it is a mean of lifting the spirits of the non-Muslims and making them proud of their religion. So obviously, if they see all Muslims celebrating the same thing, it's going to make them proud and happy of what their belief is, and it's going to make them think that their belief is correct. And obviously, we believe that their belief is not correct. We believe that the last revelation sent to mankind was the Quran, and that Islam is the only true religion. When you hear these statements of the scholars, it's very important, because we've heard people say, boy, that's shadid, it's a bit harsh, it's a bit extreme. This is the scholars who understood Islam, who understood the illah of why these things are haram. They understood and they explained to us in detail. I want you, when you hear some people say that this is something that's harsh, I want you to reflect on the ayat in Surah Maryam from verse 88 to 92, talking about celebrating Christmas and what's being celebrated in Christmas. Go back to these ayat and reflect on the meaning. وَقَالُوا اتَّخَذَ الرَّحْمَنُ وَلَدًا. And they say the most merciful has taken for himself a son. لَقَدْ جِئْتُمْ شَيْئًا إِدًّا. Allah said about them saying Allah, the Rahman subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most merciful, has taken for himself a son. لَقَدْ جِئْتُمْ شَيْئًا إِدًّا. You have done an atrocious thing. You have done an atrocious thing. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed how atrocious this claim is that Allah has taken a son. تَكَادُ السَّمَاوَاتُ يَتَفَطَّرْنَ مِنْهُ وَتَنْشَقُّ الْأَرْضُ وَتَخِرُّ الْجِبَالُ هَدًّا. The heavens almost rupture therefrom, and the earth splits open, and the mountains collapse in devastation. Why? What did they say? What did they do? أَن دَعَوْا لِلرَّحْمَنِ وَلَدًا. That they attributed to the merciful, the most merciful Ar-Rahman, a son. They attributed to the Rahman a son. وَمَا يَنْبَغِي لِلرَّحْمَنِ أَن يَتَّخِذَ وَلَدًا. And it's not appropriate, it's not suitable for the most merciful, the creator of the heavens and the earth, subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he أَن يَتَّخِذَ وَلَدًا, that he should take a son. It's not something appropriate for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at how severe these ayat are and how clear they are when it comes to this claim that's being made. This claim that these people are celebrating. And that is why the scholars of Islam, when they looked into the Quran and the Sunnah, and they realized the reasons behind, what is the illah, what is the reasons, what is the why are these things haram, they spoke in this way to make it very clear. So a Muslim doesn't think that, oh well, if my intention is this, my intention is that, I'm not, no, it's haram. It's clearly something that's not permissible for you to take part in any way. We know now it's not permissible for us to say Merry Christmas and to reply with that. So is there anything that is permissible for us to reply in return? You can be polite. You know, you don't have to be like this if somebody says Merry Christmas to you. Because then their intention is good. Then they want to be nice to you. It's the holiday celebration for them. You can smile, you can be polite. Usually I don't say anything in return. As long as you're polite, you're not a jerk towards them, or you become angry. They're not going to be offended if you don't say anything back. If you could just be polite, because that's their intention. Their intention is not, let's have they're wishing shirk upon you and you're wishing to join you shirk. They have a good intention by that. Sometimes could you say enjoy your holidays? Here, I think it's a bit borderline, but I would say that enjoy your holidays is permissible, inshallah ta'ala, because here you're talking about the holiday season. Because us now in the West, for example, I'm talking in particular in the West, we have with us during this time, we have time off from school, time off from work, sometimes two weeks or more. So it is a time of holidays and taking time off and things like that, where you're just like you're on a vacation, basically, not because of a religious holiday. Pay attention to the difference. So if you were to say, enjoy your holidays, I think that could be acceptable. But like I said, it probably, if you could find something better, or just to be polite. But in general, the ones who and this is something very important that we understand, once we start to teach our non-Muslim friends, our neighbors, our colleagues, that we don't celebrate this, eventually when they see Muhammad and they see Sister Fatima and the Muslims in the community, they're not going to even say Merry Christmas to us because they know we don't celebrate this. Now I get no Merry Christmas from my relatives because they know I don't celebrate it. So why would they say something to me? So it becomes something normal. But when some Muslims celebrate, some Muslims don't, we send negative message and they don't know how to act with this. But once it becomes known, then it's going to become easier for us. That's why it's important that we teach them that we don't celebrate this, we don't take part in these holidays. Like we said, using wisdom and being nice and being kind. And then, alhamdulillah, it will become easy for all of us. We're not going to even face that, inshallah ta'ala, except for very rarely the ones who might not know that we're Muslim and what have you.